Chapter 4. Smartware research occupied a low-slung building in one of Mountain View's newer business parks, where reflective windows and greater security had replaced the valley's traditional open campuses. Charlie and Pete stood by the front door, studying the metallic sign that seemed to deliberately reveal nothing about the company's actual work. Charlie ran his fingers over the shiny new padlock and chain, securing the handles of the double-door entrance. This is a new lock. And Leeds is nowhere to be found. Think we can get a search warrant today? Judge Porter will do cartwheels for this case. Okay, you go visit the judge. I'll see what Robbins found on those discs. Charlie, miffed by Pete's hasty division of labor, needled his partner. So what do you think of Dr. Gaines? I like her. Like her? I'm not talking ankle bracelet. I'm talking competence. Professionalism. I think she's very competent, Pete snapped. Charlie shook his head. Charlie, you suck a big one. Charlie's chuckle followed Pete as he walked to his car, leaving the mystery lab behind. A half-hour later, Pete found himself adrift in Stanford University's sprawling campus, where palm trees and red-tiled roofs created a Spanish colonial fantasy that seemed worlds away from Mountain View's tech corridors. He studied a posted map beneath a weathered stone arch, but the warren of quadrangles and courtyards might as well have been written in Sanskrit. Students streamed past him, lost in conversation about neural networks and startup ventures, their backpacks heavy with laptops. His attempts at getting directions were met with the peculiar isolation of people wearing headphones, until he finally cornered a frat type who looked up from his digital organizer long enough to point the way. Robin's office was tucked into one of the psychology department's Gothic-inspired buildings, where carved wood doors and brass fixtures maintained academic traditions even as the research inside pushed technology's boundaries. At his knock, she called out without looking up from her computer screen. Come in. How's it going? Pete asked. Slow, but interesting. Any clue why he went berserk? No, except his last entry begins to ramble, and then he starts to type letters. Just letters, not words. She pointed to the screen, the green text casting a sickly glow on her face as Pete leaned in to study the pattern. It looks kinda rhythmic. Check the date, 3 days before the killings, yet Mrs. Walters said Tom was at his computer every day right up until he left for the mall. Are we missing some disks? Maybe he was so deranged by then, he didn't save anything the last 2 days. What's on the earlier disks? Robin held her stomach. I'm starving. Let's eat, and I'll bring you up to speed. They moved their discussion to the Tresitter Union dining area, where future tech moguls in grunge-era flannel shirts hunched over early PowerBooks, while teaching assistants graded papers between bites of vegetarian curry. The mix of academic intensity and the casual California lifestyle that had helped birth companies like HP and Sun Microsystems were on full display. Robin leaned forward, pushing her empty salad bowl aside, her voice alive with scientific fervor. He was primarily interested in memory functions, how the brain stores and retrieves information. A leggy co-ed in a short, tight skirt walked past their table, turning Pete's head. In this one experiment, Robin continued, he details significant physical changes in the cerebral cortex that were in direct response to a powerful visual stimulus. Robin stopped, noting he was distracted. Caught, Pete probed the top of his head with outstretched fingers. I'm sorry, doctor, but my own research has failed to confirm those results. Robin laughed and stood up. Let's walk. They were soon out onto the main quad, where they strolled along a tree-lined walkway. The late afternoon sun filtering through ancient oaks cast patterns on the weathered sandstone walls around them. Using lab animals, Walters electrically stimulated specific areas of the brainstem. Then he traced the affected neurons and synapses to find the routes they took, where they ended up, and how they changed. So him and Leeds? They were looking to make a better computer? Nature is the master of efficient design. Later that evening, Pete pulled up in front of Robin's small rental house in Mountain View's Waverly Park neighborhood, where modest 2-bedroom homes were increasingly housing tech workers priced out of Palo Alto. The contrast between her temporary quarters and the million-dollar faculty row homes they'd just left at Stanford wasn't lost on either of them. What are you doing tomorrow? It's the weekend. Reading up on Walters. Pete winced. You may find it dry and boring, but to me, it's fascinating. Why don't you come with me to Laura's birthday party? You think Charlie would like that? Charlie's got no say in this. I'm Laura's guest, and you're my guest. She smiled, the professional mask slipping just slightly. I'll pick you up at 1. I hope you know what you're doing, she said,